Well, Mark, I appreciate you coming here. I just wanted to have what we're calling here in Payne County a conservative conversation. And we just want to hear from you again. We had the opportunity to hear from you for a number of forums. Yeah. And I appreciate you sharing your vision with the people of Stillwater. And now I just want to give you the opportunity to speak further on the different views that you have, okay? So let's start off this way. Will you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Marc Trotter, and I'm a lighting designer. And really, I started when I was 14 years old, on a whim, actually, at my church. I was looking for a volunteer opportunity, and then one day it just kind of dropped in my lap. They said, here's a way you can help out in our tech booth. And I said, how is that? And they said, well, you're going to run our lighting. And I said, okay. So now it's turned into this vibrant career for the past, we're coming up on 15 years. And that's how I make my living. Other things about me, I've played piano for coming up on 19 years. And I've been beekeeping as a hobby for about 10 years. And I've been married to my beautiful wife, Lindsay Trotter, we're coming up on 6 years in June 20th. There you go.
Well, why don't we go ahead and get right into some of the issues. Why don't you tell me your top 5 priorities you have for Stillwater?
Well, my top 5 priorities are finances, property, liberty, and then the 2 other things are whatever the individual wants. So basically just the preservation of your individual liberty and really empowering the individual to make the right choices for their household.
Well, tell the viewers, what are your core principles that will guide your decisions as mayor?
Yeah. Well, it really all starts with Scripture. So my whole ideology really comes from the nature of our creation. In the beginning, God created us. He could have created mindless slaves who had to love Him, had to choose Him, but instead He opted to create children that had the ability to make a choice, to operate on free will. And, well, really, my whole ideology stems from that. I want to protect your ability to make your choice for yourself. And really, my job, I see, is to step in when your choices start hurting others. That's really where my position is. And so with that in mind, there's the biblical background. The historical context is like with James Madison. He wrote an essay called Property. And he says, one of the lines in there is, not only can it be said that you have a right to your property, but it can be also said that you equally have a property in your rights. What does that mean? Well, what that means is whatever we decide our rights are, anytime the government steals from those, it's theft. And if I go back to my Christian background and I look at the 8th commandment in the 10 Commandments, it actually states, thou shalt not steal. And so really, my whole approach to government on all levels is, how do I make sure that I'm not part of the theft in any form whatsoever? My whole goal is to really look at that metaphorical line that we call your rights, your property, your money, and say, I want to get as far back away from that as I possibly can and let you do what you need to do. Sometimes I'm going to have to get a little closer than I want to, and that's just the nature of it. But really, my whole approach is to just get as far back from that as I possibly can and really just protect your right to do what you want with your property.
Well, explain what you mean when you say that we are a nation of kings.
So really, what I mean is we're all kings. So you're a king, I'm a king, and any of you watching, you're kings and queens. And so to broaden that, to expand on that, the way I see it, your property is your kingdom. Okay? And so with that in mind, what right does any other kingdom have to steal from that kingdom? Now, we got to create barriers and protections in place for all the kingdoms to live in perfect harmony. But when I say we're a nation of kings, what I really mean is we all have the same rights afforded to us as a king would. God begot children with all the same liberty that he has, even to the point of death. If you go that far, it's tragic, but the reality is that's what he gave us. And so the way I see it is in the form of government, really, I need to afford you that liberty as it pertains to yourself.